Hi folks, Kent Peterson here giving my persuasive speech for the Introduction to Communication Studies at MCTC now in the fall of 2016. And today I want to talk a little bit about something that should be near and dear to all of us. What I'm going to talk about is college. Not necessarily where you go, but do you need to go to college? And this is kind of an odd situation, right? Because I'm giving this to people who are in a college course. Well, a little bit about me. I went to high school, graduated high school, went to college for 1 year. I didn't like it. I didn't know what I wanted to do. All I knew was that my bank account was going south in a hurry. I wish someone would have come to me and said, hey Kent, you don't need to go to college. I ended up getting a job, and when I got my degree, it was only because it helped me further my career in my current job. But if I wouldn't have needed it, I wouldn't have gotten it. Now, a little bit about this, because Kiplinger.com, the noted finance and business magazine and website, they talk about, is college the right thing, right? Are there other options? After all, a college education is often thought to be the key to financial success. After all, a typical full-time worker with a bachelor's diploma earns about 2/3 more than a worker with just a high school degree. We all would like to earn 2/3 more, wouldn't we? However, consider this. Most of us know about Facebook, right? The social platform where we can get on and we can tag friends and post pictures and like and comment and all that other jazz. How many of you actually know about LinkedIn? Here's my LinkedIn page. It's kind of like Facebook for the work world, right? You meet people and you read stuff and you learn and you can make contacts, and there's, in some cases, jobs out there, offers, and all sorts of fun stuff. But here's the CEO from LinkedIn, a guy named Jeff Weiner. He says, we would do so much better if we stopped ensuring that everyone had to have a 4-year degree to get certain jobs, and started being open to the fact that there's a much broader array of talents and skills and perspectives and even experiences that people can have to be successful. So here's a guy who's really plugged into the work world, and what's he saying? You maybe don't need a 4-year degree. I mean, after all, how much does a 4-year degree cost? I've compiled some costs here, and this is from the website mnscuminscu.edu. This is from the admissions page, and as you can see here, I've started everywhere from a 2-year degree at Anoka Ramsey Community College, where it costs a little over $5,000 to attend for 1 year, all the way down to a 4-year private school at Carleton College, $49,263 per year. Now, assume that you go to Carleton. There's a good chance you're going to get a grant, you're going to get some aid, you're going to get award or scholarship or something to help defray that $49,000. But let's say that you don't, and let's say that you somehow can afford to go there. If you have to get a loan to go to those schools, if you go to Anoka Ramsey, it's going to cost you about $111 a month for 10 years following graduation to pay off your $13,000 loan. If you go to Carleton, it's a little over $2,100 a month for 10 years for a grand total of $259,000 to pay off the loans from your 4-year degree. Now again, this is just admissions. This is just tuition. This doesn't account where you live, doesn't account for what you eat, it doesn't account for how you get from A to B. This is just to attend that school. So let's talk a little bit about this. Are there other jobs that don't require a 4-year degree? Going back to Kiplinger.com, every year they post a list. For 2016, these are the jobs, and this is what you can make without a college degree. As you can see, we have things from a commercial pilot at $75,000 a year, to a plumber, a little over $51,000 a year, all the way down to a surgical technologist at $45,750. All of those are very well-paying jobs. You don't need a 4-year degree. You don't need the cost of that 4-year degree. Now granted, there might be some special training or licenses or apprenticeships that go with some of these jobs, but many of them you can literally start and work your way up. Now, back in 2015, they have another list. There were some interesting things that I found on that list that maybe are not on this list. How about an insurance salesman? Who thinks of that, right? $50,000 a year plus for an insurance sales agent. How about a private detective? Right? We see them on TV and we hear about them in the movies, but who really thinks about that? Private detective, again, $50,000 a year. In the end, it's not about the degree you have, and in the end, it's about how you like what you do. Right? So I looked at the website oneweekjob.com, and they have an article that talks about the 50 best work and passion quotes of all time. And this, what I want to leave you with, and in conclusion, is this. To be successful, the first thing to do is fall in love with your work. Have a passion for what you do. Don't chase that almighty dollar. The dollars will come if you like what you do, and that shows. Secondly, trust not what inspires other members of society to choose a career. Trust what inspires you. So this is an individual thing. What may work for me may not work for you, and vice versa. It's got to work for you. And then lastly, you are what you do. If you are boring, stupid, and monotonous work, chances are you'll end up boring, stupid, and monotonous. And I'm going to just leave you with a little example of that. This week I met with a young man, 21 years old. He had a full ride, free tuition, free everything to the Carlson School of Management, right, with the University of Minnesota. He went for 3 weeks and he quit. Because in those first 3 weeks, his mentors, his advisors, his counselors were saying, hey, you're a smart kid. You got a 35 on your SAT. You'll do well. You might even make $70,000, $80,000 a year, which by all means is some really good money. However, after quitting in 3 weeks, this kid now told me he's making over $200,000 a year doing something he loves. He designs and develops websites and applications for things like cell phones and laptops and things of that nature. He likes it because he's good at it. He's good at it because he likes it. He's marketed that skill and that trade overseas, and as a result, he's doing very well. The end of the story here is this. Like what you do, go after it. You don't need a 4-year degree. Good luck.